All right, everyone. Welcome to the live well here at Fish North, Georgia, this wonderful cold Tuesday night from Pickens County. We're so glad you guys could join us. And again, if you're watching at a later date, we appreciate you guys as well. Got a great topic tonight, one that I absolutely think the viewers can get into. Make sure you comment and throw all your questions up. What's up, Justin Warren, Coleman Jones, Ron? Everybody, we're going to be talking about the top 5 baits for late January into early February. So from right now into, excuse me, boy, I choked up right there. I was so happy to be here into February. So, and the thing is, everybody has got their own opinion. So I think it should be a pretty lively, good conversation tonight. Appreciate Dave Aldridge and Clint joining us. Alex is working the board tonight and all that. And again, the show is always made by you guys out there. So let's go ahead and take care of our sponsors. And right after the sponsors, I got a special announcement from the guys at Sonar Pros. Of course, we're going to start off with Trent and the guys right there. So I want to thank Sonar Pros for their sponsorship. Guys, again, you'll understand when we do this little special announcement why we are so blessed to have them as part of our show. 770-530-4505, where the pros take their boats, best in the business around here in North Georgia. But guys from all over the United States will bring their boat to Trenton. So you might as well go ahead and take your boat and get it done right the first time. So Sonar Pros, we appreciate them guys. And, of course, Kevin Underwood with Lipsticker Fishing. All right, new logo. I love it right there. It's got all his information, 678-459-8419. Always posting big spotted bass and some largemouth too from Lake Lanier. And now he's got his Patreon where you can join and you can watch him basically do an on-the-water live class showing you what he's catching them on. It's a really awesome thing. This is not a pre-recorded video. This is as it happens. So check him out, patreon.com, Lipsticker Fishing. And again, if you just want to book a guide trip, which I totally recommend, give him a call or check him out at kevin@lipstickerfishing.com. And, of course, in front of us, you got the best rod sleeve on the market. Evolve Fishing, the Evolve rod sleeve. It floats. It's got all these extra features. And the best thing about it, your hooks will not get permanently stuck in them when you put them in and out of your rod locker. So we got them here at Fish North Georgia, or you can go to evolvefishing.com. Also, with all the money we're spending on all these expensive lures, you might as well have the best plug knocker, the best lure retriever on the market, and that is the Money Saver Lure Retriever. As word gets out about this product, more guys are buying them. I have guys sending me pictures all the time, like, I got it back. It is the best on there. Got them here at Fish North Georgia online as well. The Money Saver Lure Retriever. You can't beat it. If you're booking a trip on Lake Allatoona, there's one name out there, and that's Bill Payne Guide Service, 706-280-2305. If you want to do a sonar trip, learn that a little bit better. Seasonal smallmouth trips. This guy probably forgot more today than I know, and maybe a lot of us here in our lifetime. He is a legend, and he's one guy you need to fish with, especially on Lake Allatoona. And then we got Brooks Anderson Fishing, one of my favorite people in the fishing industry. This kid is the up-and-comer. He's got it going on, and his guide service really specializes in those young anglers on Lake Lanier, getting those high school, college anglers that are wanting to get really started. Brooks, he's been there, he knows it, and he can tell you all about the spotted bass on Lake Lanier, their habits, what they're catching them on, and why. And that's the most important thing. So go to brooksandersonfishing.com, and I tell you what, he's a great kid. If you want to buy a trip for a young one and you're a parent, I highly recommend Brooks Anderson right there. And then again, behind us, we got our Jasper Tire, our buddies over in Turner Tire. I got it missed. Turner Tire in Jasper, Georgia, 706-253-3339. Brakes, alignment, new tires, they're the company for you. Tell them you saw them here at Fish North Georgia. We appreciate those guys as well. Now, my special announcement. Big event coming up. Big event. February 2nd, the Sonar Pros Winter Seminar presented by Smith Built Construction Group. Talked to Trent about this, and I think this is an absolutely outstanding seminar because it's geared to the high school and college angler. Anybody can go, but it's free for all high schoolers, all college anglers. It's from 12 to 5 p.m. at Forsyth County High School. Now, if you're a little older like Dave is over here, and you want to go, it'll cost you $20. You still can go. But check out this lineup. And each one of these guys, I believe, will be doing a 30-minute session. Listen to these names. Patrick Walters, our buddy Drew Cook, Drew Benton, Austin Felix, Buddy Gross, and of course Trent Palmer himself. They're going to teach you the stuff you need to know, and I mean that's a stout of a lineup as you can get for a seminar right there. They also got great giveaways. All right, check out some of these things: Lowrance HDS Pro 10 and the Active Target, Boat Logix console mount, the Boat Logix bow mount, Sonar Pro harnesses, Sonar Pro power pole navigation lights, Sonar Pro's trolling motor sleeves, and a whole lot more. They're going to be adding to that. Now, to register, go to sonarpros.com, click on the winter seminar registration, and it's only going to they're only going to have 375 spots. This is going to fill up quick with all these high school and college anglers. You want to go ahead and get your spot reserved, okay? This is February 2nd. What is it? 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Yeah.
About something like that.
Yeah.
It's coming up soon. So go ahead and get registered. And, when he approached me with that last night, he goes, hey, can you help us get this out? I was like, heck yeah, I'm going to go. And I would,
I'll be there.
You're going to be there?
Yeah. For sure.
I will strongly encourage.
I'll be there.
You going to go?
Oh, yeah.
We got to see if Trent let us in free. Huh?
Don't be the buddy always asking for a discount, Danny.
I don't ask for a discount, but Lord, I mean, come on. I'll pay $20.
Shop local.
I will pay $20 just to see if Patrick Walters is going to wear his shorts.
I bet you mine will be shorter. I'm just kidding.
Anyway, so all right, let's get the talk going. What's up, Tony, Justin Warren? Hey, I ain't seen your name in a while. Glad you're here, though. Adam W. Fish and Silver Punk, Doug Phillips, Fred Ashcraft. What is the choice of beverage tonight? I'm being a good boy. Pepsi Zero tonight right there. So if you're associated with Pepsi or any of its affiliates, the Livewell would love to have a sponsorship of that. I'd ask for a Copenhagen sponsorship, but I read in the law that tobacco companies are not allowed to do it. So that's a hard no from them. So, but yeah, nothing crazy tonight, Fred. We took care of all that while we were stuck at home in the snow. So Far Dog, glad to be back with you guys. Let's have a great show. So listen, hey, tonight's show, these guys got their opinions. I've got mine. Alex got his on the top 5 baits, and it's going to vary a little bit because I got a scoper.
Gee.
I had to throw that out.
You're right.
I got a guy that likes to fish Gunnersville. I got a kayak guy. What's up, Clint Orris? And you guys as well. Me, I'm a chameleon. I just go wherever somebody take me fishing, so I can do a little bit of everything. So we're going to have differences of opinions for sure. And I know you guys in the comment section, you're going to have your thoughts as well. So you guys can go ahead, and I want you to do this. If you're one of those commenting, go ahead and give me your top number one bait for this time in January through early February. And so I'm going to do this with each one of you guys. Instead of just letting you give all 5, we're going to start with that. How about that? We'll start with your top bait, and you can say where it's going to be from, because we'll start with you. You're a Gunnersville guy. So you're going to give me your top bait January into early February for Gunnersville and similar style lakes. What's number 1 on your list?
Number 1 will probably be an A-rig.
A-rig. But you can throw A-rig year-round over there, can't you? It just shines more right now?
It shines from that fall when they really start schooling into, I stopped throwing it about April.
You throwing it deep or shallow? Because when we fished together, you were throwing that A-rig shallow.
I was throwing it shallow. You can, and that's the beauty of it. You can fish it in 35 foot of water. You can fish it in 4 foot of water. It's just so versatile. And they just eat it over there. As many as they see, they still eat it.
In this cold weather, where do you think those fish, that will bite an A-rig right now? Like, what's the first? You gonna start shallow or deep?
I'm gonna start out there on some of those channel swings or where those creek channels come off the main river. Start looking out there, and those you're scoping them. You're just scoping them with an A-rig instead of a single. And then I'll get into the ditches and the little depressions in the grass and the drains and the clumps of grass that are sticking up. And if the one thing over there, if you can find a mix of grass, it's usually pretty good.
Okay. So a couple of you guys put, Tony Hall says a spinner bait. Cody Campbell says a Rapala OG Tiny 07. Fred Ashcraft says a jerk bait, flat side crankbait for tidal fisheries. That's right. I always forget you're down there on the coast. Silverpunk looks forward to what another kayak guy has to say, and I'll give you my thoughts here in a second. Now, I think he's talking about you there, Alex. And then Cody Campbell says a shad wrap. Larry Strong, He's got my number one right there, jig. And Larry, I missed a phone call from you today, and I apologize. I was in a meeting, and I didn't get a chance to call you back. So my apologies to that. A drop shot, and Tony says for this month, it's been the Z-Man Graph Shads. Is it Shad Z or Shads?
Shads.
Okay,
I'd
for me, but
assume.
the Rapala DT6 is fire. And Wigglewort, that you're showing your age right there, Far Dog, with Wigglewort right there. Plano or Oris, rock crawler. Hey, all right, so what about you, Clint? You're number one right now. And you guys keep throwing them up there.
I'd say shaky head. Oh,
Shaky
head.
You can't go wrong
yeah.
with that.
No, you can't.
That is the one bait, though, versatile all year, but I think,
You just got to change it up just a little bit.
okay, and so maybe lighten the head a little bit or just put a little juice on the end of it and everything.
Yeah, they like that skint this time of year. They like some scent on there. So I switched to the old Max Scent a meal and cast special.
I love the Max Scent.
Yeah.
I will, like, what size you got on that? And that's an 8th. Yeah, but I thought the worm. So that's
that's a 5.
5. I like throwing the full size one.
Yeah.
The mag one.
The 6 or 7?
The 7.
7?
Yeah. I'll put a little chartreuse on the end of that. Like I got a tournament not this Saturday, but next Saturday going out of Ball Ridge. I've always done my best with a full size worm or even a trick worm on a shaky head this time of year right there. So Coleman Jones, cast minnow. Can't go wrong with cast any time of the year. All right, kayak guy over there. I'll talk about my choice in a second, but what about you?
Shaky head.
Shaky head.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't expect you to say shaky head.
Yeah, with a trickster worm and moneymaker.
The moneymaker.
Yeah.
Okay. Any particular color? I'm just curious.
Sweet candy.
Sweet candy right there. So I got that. So Ron Swinford, a mid-runner crank. I have an old school bait I use a lot, and the rock crawler works well too. Well, Ron, I got a question for you. You gatekeeping a little bit. What's that old school bait right there? I didn't even know that was a term till I got accused of it on TikTok.
Really?
Yeah, guy in the comment section
gatekeeper
called me a gatekeeper, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" And I actually had to call my daughter.
Oh my god!
I did. Well, she's in her 20s. I said, "What is gatekeeping?" She goes, "That's when you're withholding information."
Mm-hmm.
When did it become gatekeeping?
2007.
Is that it?
I don't know.
2007. Dave, did you even know that was a term?
I did know that was a word.
Really?
Yes, sir.
You're hip.
I guess I am really cool.
It's because all them hip kids start showing up at the ramp at Gunnersville now because that's a cool place.
It's because you're smart and you hang out with the young guys.
That's right.
Fred Ashcraft, can't go wrong with a jig in cold weather. That was my choice.
I went wrong with the jig all weekend, apparently.
But see, an A-Rig, Gio, hey, appreciate you joining us tonight, dog. I love you, dude.
What's up, Franco?
Hey, that's as good a human being as there is out there.
He's the best.
He is.
He will take anyone fishing. Like, if you want to go, Franco's the man.
And you know what's best? You know what's
Franco, I want to go fishing.
That joker's always smiling.
Oh, he does. He always is.
It's like
and such a positive energy to be around.
He could. I bet he could have the flu for like a month straight. He'd still find a way to smile through.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's like pinned up. Like I don't think his face can do anything else. So I'm glad you joined us tonight. The reason I say a jig is because I think it's versatile. I kind of had a 1A, 1B. And I say a jig, but I'll probably throw a shaky head a whole hell of a lot more. But that's the right answer, I think, as far as versatility on a largemouth lake or spotted bass lake across the country. I think a jig, like, because we can do certain things here, like my 1B, and I'll start first with the next thing. Tight line and a little cricket, says our buddy Ryan Hanks.
That's what
right
he's
there.
talking about. He's talking about that little cricket right there.
Oh, yeah, we're going to bring it up. It's going right there for sure. JPJ Fishing, let's answer this question. Let's pull that up right there. When do you prefer chart/black versus red/orange? Seem like chartreuse black isn't thought of as much now. And I agree with you on that. You don't hear very many people throwing. I know guys that will throw on certain lakes will throw a straight black shaky head. That's one of the little untold kind of secrets that everybody thinks is a secret, and everybody knows. Like over at Latham, a lake with leeches, a lot of black stowed. But when I prefer it, I'm probably always going to go red orange over chart black. What about you guys?
I normally don't prefer to chart, but when I do, gas station biscuit that morning. But Yeah, I would rather go chartreuse and black than red or orange, to be honest.
Would you really?
Yeah, just because
Now,
it's just.
Are we talking crankbaits? Or are we talking
I thought we were
worms?
talking shaky heads.
Shaky
Am I
heads?
off? What are we talking about?
Okay, so
I'm
let me
thinking
re-
crankbaits.
I think he's talking crankbait. Okay,
because
never
that's
mind.
okay. Because like
I don't throw a black crankbait.
Yeah, if
red
you-
and orange. Sorry.
yeah, I agree with you. I see what you said on if it were a shaky
Yeah, I was
head.
talking worms.
Yeah.
My bad.
Because the rock crawler or that I like to use, it's always an orange red with a little green pumpkin in it. I forget the name. I got that DT8 on the my Spro
Yep.
rod right there, but I got that just because that was the only one I had in my truck to throw it. But you know, they can't. I don't know if they can see the color. Can you hold that up where, like, kind of in front of me, where they can just see the color? Oh, I'll just hold the whole damn rod. Yeah. So that's the kind of right now. That's the color
That's
I'm
old
throwing.
demon. Isn't
That's
it?
a demon right there.
Rapala
So,
demon
yeah. So
color.
that's the color I prefer if I'm throwing Rapala. I don't know what I call it, Rapala. I guess that's the proper way to say it, but in the South it's Rapala. Now Ron Swinford, and he's a Lake Weiss guy, so you got to, you know, he Allatoona and all that. So, but I'm gonna consider this a Lake Weiss kind of color and tip. In dirty water, I use more chart black. In stained water, more red. So at Weiss, he uses chart black, and Allatoona up the creeks maybe more stained, you know, more red and everything. So, sound about. You fish over there. I mean, you're not, I don't know how much you fish Weiss, but I know you drive over to get to Gunnersville.
I fish it some. My thing with red is I don't start throwing red into that water temperature. No, it's not much a water color; it's a water temperature. It seems like red shines when that water temperature gets in the 50s and further down. Like in the summertime, like he's talking about on Weiss over there, I'll show chartreuse once the water warms up.
Right.
That's my go-to if it's dirty, but I'm not going to throw red in the summertime.
Oh yeah, for sure. No.
That's more water temperature thing for me.
Yeah, I get that. Now, I had a guy in the shop today, and I cannot verify or deny this or whatever, but he told me he fished Sunday on Lanier. Maybe you were out there Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, well, he said he saw water temps 46, 47 degrees.
I saw 44 on Saturday.
I saw 40 on Sunday.
You saw 40 on Sunday water temp?
Yeah.
He's up in the creeks.
Yeah,
Yeah, you wait. Yeah, you are.
Snow water coming down.
I'm up like Toto Creek.
You were getting the runoff
Yeah.
from the snow is what the hell you was getting right there. But yeah, no, man, it's cold. Justin Warren says, going back to what I know in ditches with a ditch digger fishing Lake Sinclair next month, got to count the rocks. And for those, that's a head I pour. It's a football head. A lot of guys will put a fluke or a Kitech and they'll just throw it right down the middle of a ditch and slow roll it. I didn't want to do any self-promotion on any of that, but it is a good wintertime bait. And there's other options for that, but it's basically ditch fishing, of course. Craven Moore, did I miss Far Dog? Let's do Far Dog. Okay. He's already jumping in on his second bait right there. Them Oklahoman guys, they finish quick, right? That's what I heard. So
Shit.
I'm kidding, Far Dog. You know,
Shout
I love
out
you.
Luke Palmer.
Yeah. So my second bait would be a Strike King Ocho wacky rigged hard candy in color. That's a year-round bait for me, but I like to throw it weightless, and sometimes in the wintertime that works because it's really slow falling. But if you're fishing deep, a lot of guys ain't got the patience for that. So Gunnersville, I started with you. How about this? What's your second favorite bait? And listen, if you guys don't like our choices, throw it out there in the comment section. We'll debate it with you a little bit.
My second one probably had to be a rattle trap of some variety.
Rattle trap. Well, that's a standard on Gunnersville and those type of lakes,
Yeah,
regardless.
Spro, Lewis,
Mhm.
Lucky Craft, some form of rattling bait.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. What about color? Are you throwing the reds in that?
I throw the reds. I actually did better last year on a red with a chartreuse belly. When I fished with Reese in that trap tournament, we had right at 20 and got run off the stage. We
20 got run off.
yeah, we were like 35 out of 135 with 20.
That's crazy.
We had
That is insane. That sounds like a barn
it's
tournament,
stupid. It was it's red with a chartreuse belly.
Yeah.
I wasn't real sure. I had to go digging that night because it had to be in production, it took me a while to make sure that trap was actually in production so I could throw it. And I was at Bass Pro, I think in Macon one day, and I went in there and it had a whole stack up. I just literally just raked them all off. But that was a really good color last year. That's where I think most of our bigger fish came on that trap.
So let me ask you this though: what in cold water, like what we're talking now? A lot of comments are saying like Lanier is in the 40s. Anthony Hampton says tuna was 36 yesterday. Good Lord.
Slow down.
All right. So how are you working a trap
Um.
in that kind of water? And does Guntersville get as cold as Lanier?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I figured it would.
Does because it's shallow. It's weird. It's I'll start with straight retrieve and then I'll vary it and I may do the yo-yo thing. I do it a little different. I may sit there and drag it like a jig. But I was out there last winter. And the only day we had snow and ice over there, only boat out there, and I was catching I had to go from a 5/8 trap to a 1/2 ounce trap because I was fishing it so shallow that I needed the lightweight so I could actually work it through the grass. They were in 2 or 3 foot of water and it was snowing and sleeting.
That is a thing that I think a lot of people, the more inexperienced anglers and all that, or guys just starting out, wintertime cold, fish don't bite, or if they are, they're deep. Right. There are tons of fish to be caught shallow,
especially
all through the winter.
Especially there. And last year on Lanier, I caught 2 spots back. We were talking about that earlier, back-to-back weeks, a 555 and a 565. The deepest one was about 10 foot.
Yeah.
The bigger one was in about 6 foot on shaky head.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me now. It used to. Yeah. I know last January when the electric-only tournament started kicking up, a lot of them went out of Baldridge. Was not as cold as it was this year, but all them tournaments, well, I won't say all of them, the ones I talked, they were one shallow.
Yeah.
And when I say shallow, I'm talking 15 foot or less.
Yeah.
So they're there. All right, what about you there, beautiful? Your second favorite.
I would go counting rocks with that old Prodigy dog. A little 3-inch Prodigy,
right?
Looks like a little thread fin down there in the ditches and just dragging.
Doing the same thing basically as what Justin Warren's doing with that ditch digger. Kind of just get it on the bottom, counting rocks, slow retrieve.
Yep.
Now, that's a tungsten head.
Yep.
So you get away with a smaller head, but what ounce is that?
This is 3/16.
3/16. Okay. Yep. If you said I didn't hear you, I'm sorry about that.
No, I didn't.
Okay. Craven Moorhead. I'd rather poop in my hands and clap than use that dang live scope. Well, yeah, you know what? That's why we live in America right there, baby. So I understand that, and I appreciate your passion about not wanting to shit in your hands. So don't do that. And but I get it. To each their own. So then I tell you what, Craven, you put in, since you're not going to be scoping, throw in there your comment on what your number 1 and number 2 baits are. If you did, I might have missed it, but I'd like to see what your answers are with that and how a non-scoping person would approach some of these lakes. Let's see, getting some temperatures, 44, 47. Ron Swinford. Second bait would be a shaky head, something with blue flake in it, unless the water is really dirty. Then June bug rules them all. I get that. June bug is a color that has always worked, but there are sexier colors out there. But more often than not, I'm finding a lot of guys, that's still a staple in people's tackle box. So like that. So how big? A 1/2 ounce Clint Oris. And I'm assuming maybe if you're talking a ditch dig or anything like that, I know that's a 1/2 ounce head. So I don't know.
Jig.
Oh, a jig? Man, I'm a 3/8 guy. I just, to me, when I put that 1/2 ounce on, it just feels like I am just like I'm just pulling leaves on the bottom. I don't know.
I used to be big on the 1/2 ounce, and then I've switched to lighter weights, especially with these spots. I feel like, I think because so many of them eat it on the fall. So
yeah, I got you with that. So what about you, Alex, back there? Your second.
My second is going to be a jig.
A jig?
Yeah, jig.
Look, he even brought props. These two guys brought props, and the two other guys we didn't.
If I need to lighten it up, I got a finesse jig too. Same trailer, but both of the jigs come from Battle Baits.
There is that shameless plug, baby, for Battle Baits out there. Give the man a hand for working it into the show right there. Good job with that. There was go up a little bit. Tug drug fishing. Appreciate you joining us tonight, buddy. Right there. I don't. If you've been around, I don't remember that name, but I'm glad you're here tonight. Throw up your baits right there. Tony Collins, seconds a jig. I don't even know how to pronounce this name right under that, so I'm gonna do my best.
That's Harrison. He works with me at Yamaha.
How you say his last name?
Hines, but it's his middle name, so it's H, and then whatever his
Oh,
middle name is, Hines. So it's your Google, whatever your Google name is.
okay. Well,
But that's Harrison.
appreciate you joining us tonight, Harrison. Jerk bait till my wrist is swollen. I had a feeling somebody was going to say a jerk bait. Sooner or later, it was going to come up. But it's definitely not in our top 1 or 2 so far. So it's not our favorite thing to throw. But there are guys like that will religiously throw a jerk bait. My problem with the jerk bait in cold, it's kind of messed up because I have the patience to throw a weightless wacky rig over a brush pile in 40 foot of water and let it sink. Total confidence in that. Throwing a jerk bait out there and doing a pause, pop, and then pause and then letting it sit for 5-10 seconds like a lot of guys do. I can't do it.
It's hard.
It's a mental thing. You throw jerk baits?
I do.
Is that going to be on your list?
No.
Okay, what is that? Is jerk bait on anybody's top 5 in here?
No.
So there you go. So Harrison. But I think it's when the guys that do that, they just got supreme confidence in that. And I know there'll be other guys that will do that. So yeah, appreciate you watching tonight, man. That's awesome. So what is that? Silver Punk. Jig with a chunk of a DT trailer. Okay. And that goes to that. Now, Alex, your jig, you had a twin tail.
Mm-hmm.
So I throw Yamamoto twin tails.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys are throwing a jig, twin tails, or you throwing chunks or anything?
I like a twin tail or like a Strike King Rage Crawl.
Okay. What about you?
I either throw the 3-inch crack and crawl on a finesse
Mm-hmm.
or almost a full sweet beaver on my big jig. But it's 5/8 of an ounce.
Yeah, but you're out on a ledge at that point, ain't you?
I'm on
What
Lanier.
the heck? You're
I've caught
throwing a
ton of
You're
them.
throwing a 5/8 ounce jig on Lanier.
Dirty jigs. They're football head. It'll come through everything.
Well, hell, I guess so. You're pulling a rock. It can't get hung
And
behind
it's
it.
like I said, I bite off about 1/4 of an inch of a full sweet beaver and stick it on the back.
I did that this weekend.
Mm-hmm. And here you sit.
You notice I whispered that one.
Get
I didn't say
you
that
didn't get a
loud.
haircut either, did you?
Listen, I was going to cut my hair. This is the longest my hair has been in 5 years.
He looks like he's about to hop on his Harley.
I can fix it.
He's-
I got a haircut before I came.
No, listen, honest truth. I said, honey, I'm going to, I shaved my hair. I keep it short. I've kept it short for years. I said, I'm going to cut my hair. And she goes, no.
She probably
She's
likes
liking
old
it.
Harley
Mama
Danny.
likes the hair,
She's
man.
liking the locks.
She's liking the locks. And if that helps me, I think I ain't going to do no damn ponytail or nothing like that. Just got a little mini flow.
Just don't cut it till you win a. Don't cut it until you win a tournament in your electric
Well,
element thing.
shit, that would be like years. So Craven, our non-scoping buddy right here. I throw that black 1/2 ounce buzz bait year round. Son, that water ain't never too cold for a good old buzzer. Son, you boo. I don't know how the hell you say that.
Son, yeah, boy.
Son, yeah, boy.
I don't know.
Listen, Craven, you know what? That's not as unrealistic as people hearing me say that might think. My buddy, and I think I've said it on the show, but my buddy Keith White, about 4 years ago, might have been 5, was fishing an electric only tournament at Yahula, very small reservoir up there. I remember because we were at Jimbo's show, which is this weekend for those of you that know. We were at Jimbo's show. It was windy as crap and spitting snow flurries. They had a tournament and he went ahead and fished that day. And he wasn't doing very well at all. And he gone through his entire tackle box and he ended up pulling out a black buzz bait about 12 o'clock, 12:30. I think they weighed in at 2 or something like that. And he just, hell with it, I'm going to throw a buzz bait. And he won that tournament because the next 3 fish he caught gave him over 15 pounds on a black buzz bait in 20, 30 mile an hour sustained winds with snow flurries. And I bet that lake's really cold up in Atlantica. So it's not as crazy, Craven. It's not as crazy as it sounds. Hey, let's real quick. We'll get to the rest. Let's go ahead and hit our Fishers of Hope. Get our buddies up here from Fishers of Hope. We appreciate their sponsorship of the live well. Their mission to glorify God, be servants of his word, to bring those in need to peace and hope that only he can bring. Guys, you need to go join them on Facebook and follow them. They throw bass tournaments to help people in need. They They always need other people to help participate, to donate, and to help out with that cause. And if you're one of those, Fishers of Hope Ministry at gmail.com. And again, you can follow them on Facebook at Fishers of Hope. Tony and his wife up there, great people, and all they really want to do is help people out, and they do it through fishing. So you guys go give them a little bit of your support right there. So we appreciate them. Now let's get back to our comments right there, making your fingers work over there. So let's go on up a little bit because I'm not growing a damn mullet, but I could. I had one in high school. All right, so Cody Campbell finally went up to Lanier right after Christmas, caught a 3-pound largie at the ramp waiting for my dad. It went downhill quickly after that. And that's, for some guys that I've talked to, Lanier is fishing fantastic. For others, it's been tough. So 3-pound largie, that's a blessing right there. So RB Mulhern, I hope I said it right there. War Eagle Jigging Spoon here on Clark's Hill. Hey, a Clark's Hill guy. So I see one of those on the table. And it might not be number 3, but let's go ahead with you because you do have a spoon right there.
Yeah, I like an old jigging spoon this time of year. This is a Queen tungsten spoon. But I like it like this time of year. It depends on what the fish are doing, but so many of them are glued to the bottom, and this will show you the fish. Like if you don't catch them on this, which like if they're not fired up enough to eat it, you'll at least figure out that there's fish there, and you can kind of back off and sling something more finessey at them.
So just pulling them off, it helps to pull them off and show themselves.
Yeah, 100%.
Now, would you ever throw that and work it on the bottom?
Yeah, I'll
like
flip
drag it kind of a little bit or pop it.
I'll flip flop it, but most of the time I'm vertical. So like I'll flip flop it to where it just kind of does that on the bottom. But I mean, most of the time I'm just because you'll get hung up so easy if you try. This isn't a bait that you're really fluttering.
Yeah, I was just curious like that. I know a lot of guys throw them, but I've seen guys actually cast those things out. Listen, cast. I said like an S on every word right there. Cast those things out at a distance and slow roll them across the bottom.
Yeah.
But most people fish them vertically.
Growing up, the only bait I used to throw was a Castmaster spoon. It was the only bait I knew how to throw. That's what my dad gave me, and I'd just sling them on my Snoopy rod into school and fish. And like I learned how to use that as my top water, as my spinner bait, as my jig, as like I used it as everything because it's all I had. So I'd sit there and like let it fall down, or I'd pop it off the bottom, or I'd go burn it across the top, like depending on what the fish were doing. So it was like it was the only thing I had access to. And I remember catching one off the dock. I was standing on the edge of the dock, and my dad's standing next to me fishing, and I sling it out there because he came up busting. It was on Lake Norman. My grandparents had a lake house up there back in the day, and so I was 3 years old in my life jacket and everything, and sling out there, and I hook into this fish, and it's a Snoopy rod, so it's like zzz.
Yeah.
And I remember my nose was touching the water because it pulled me, and I like literally fell with my feet still on the dock, and my dad grabbed me by the little handle on the kids' life jackets. He grabbed me by the handle of my life jacket and pulled me back up so I didn't fall in the water. I don't know how he grabbed me, and got a hold of me, and then we ended up landing the fish. It was a 5-pounder. I still got a picture of it. It was
you really?
It was my PB until I was like 19.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I love stories like that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Let's see. So we're caught up right there. So Jeremy Conkright, your top 5 baits for this time of January into early February. Silver Punk on the back of his jig has got a chunk or DT grub. Now, I let him go, but I'm gonna jump in because this was one of my baits right here. Pull up OKJ. Ned rig. The entire Ned, and people hate it, and it's got a bad word, but the Ned rig was, and you got it. So yeah, right there. And
talk about that head, Danny.
This is
I
do pour a True Grit Ned head that is let me get down. That is weedless head, 1/16 or quarter. We can do that. You can order them at fngo.com, so you can do that. But whether it's weedless or I didn't do your hook back right. That is a technique that was developed in cold weather, really good out in the Midwest. And of course, this down here is brought. There's just something about that little bitty bait, turd, whatever you want to call it, or whatever you like, put a missile bait on it or whatever, that is just, it's got to be worked, in my opinion, uber slow. Extremely slow. You ever throw a Ned rig? Because I know he does.
We do. We throw them up at Gunnersville.
in a largemouth lake.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I mean, do
It's
you
just-
throw it?
I do throw it. I throw it in the winter probably more than I do in the summer. But when those fish get pressured, and you know they're there. A lot of times you can downsize to something small and actually get a few more bites.
Yeah, I find tournament situation. If I'm having tough and I want to put, even if they're dinks, but I want to put a limit in the boat for confidence, you can pull out that Ned rig. A lot of guys throw it. They don't talk about it that much. What about you, Alex? You throw a Ned rig?
Yeah, I'll throw a Ned rig if I'm not getting bit on a shaky head, or if I know they're up on bed, I'll throw a Ned rig with a little. I showed you that MRE
Yeah.
from Tactical Fishing. They
Yep.
love that thing, man.
I'm telling you, nobody believes me or they don't want to do it. A Ned rig. I'm just a green pumpkin Ned rig. If you're one of those that like to pursue bedding bass, and I know some people don't, but if you're one of those, I think that's the least intimidating thing you can throw in a bed. And it stands up, so you can just leave it there. I mean, you got to have a good sight line and all that. So Jeremy throws an old school pork chunk during the winter. I get that for sure. Yeah. It's interesting. The pork chunk's making a comeback now.
Yeah.
That's all I grew up throwing on the jig was old Uncle Josh. It was that
All we
green
had.
one.
They didn't. I don't remember them having plastic.
Oh, they didn't. There was no such thing.
Mm-mm.
And what was funny is I'd use one of my dad's rods and I wouldn't take it off at the end of the thing and they would dry.
Mm-hmm.
Good Lord, you gotta have a saw.
Kind of like those old Berkeley bait, the goat minnow or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, how they
Yeah.
just like
They was just fossilized
Yeah.
right there on the whole thing right there. So no, I'm not growing a mullet. Yes, Fred, it does give something to grab onto. Unfortunately, it's generally when I'm in trouble. What does Craven say? I pull that out. I like the way this guy talks. I don't know if you're drinking, if you're just a good old country boy, but by God, a battle bait on a Carolina rig on Sandy Cooper will get a big old head in the boat really quick.
Son, is that Cass?
It sounds like Cass the way he talks. Right
By
there.
God, and dang battle bait on a Carolina rig. Carolina rig gets bit.
Carolina rig gets bit year round. All right, so let's do on that. Any of you guys throw a Carolina rig? And I know you don't,
I do.
but how about for the winter, right now? Or is that more of a
That's more of a summertime ledge.
ledge? You throw that in the summertime. What about you over there?
I'll drag in the wintertime. Like this weekend, I'll definitely
The Carolina rig?
probably have one tied on. Yeah,
Cinco
See,
on the back?
it's the OG live scope.
It is the OG live scope. So there you go. So you are scoping there, Craven. You
Yeah.
just don't know it. You're using the
Yeah.
OG one right there. So Ron Swinford. Ron keeps us intact. Like he puts the number out. All right, guys, let's move to number 3. Did I give you everybody get their shot at their number 2s?
I've done 4.
You
already.
done 4. I know
I've
because
done
you just
2.
got, huh?
I'm done too.
Okay. So let's go with your number 3. Unfortunately, the people up there,
They're guessing them. Yeah.
yeah, they're nailing it. What about you? Your number 3 bait.
My number 3 is gonna be a chatterbait.
That speaks for Gunnersville. I get that grass, but how are you throwing it right now this time of year if you're throwing it?
Just keeping it in contact with the grass, either putting a 4-inch easy shiner or that Zika from Yamamoto.
Yamamoto. Yes,
back.
Zako.
Zako.
Yeah.
Zako.
Now, if you were coming over here fish Lanier, chatterbait wouldn't play, would it?
They wouldn't even be in the boat for me.
Yeah, so that is a grass specific bait for you.
For me.
Okay. All right. So how many have you done there, Alex? You 2 or 3?
I'm 2.
Okay, so your third bait, and then I'll get to Ron's.
My third bait is dragging a spot choker in ditches
So the underspin.
with a cast prodigy on it.
There you go. Another great plug. But okay, I got a question for you on that. Now, I got a simple mind. So when I'm thinking dragging ditches, so that ditch digger is just a straight football head, none of that. To me, in my mind, it seems like you're wasting the blade if you're dragging it because the blade's on the bottom. Now, you got confidence in doing that. So you think differently, but do you kind of see what I'm saying with that? It's like,
Yeah, no, 100%.
so why
But
not
I
just
don't
throw a
know.
ball head?
Because I don't get bid on them the same.
So why do you think that is? Though?
I don't know.
I mean, I am being
I can't
very
answer. I
serious
can't
with that
answer.
question.
It works better for me though, so that's what I do.
So any of you guys up there that throw an underspin in a ditch and you're slow rolling it, dragging it,
I mean, dragging it,
like dragging
like
it.
counting stuff on
Explain
the
to me how the blade is still effective. Can you do that?
Yeah, and anytime you pop it off the bottom, it gives that little bit of flash.
If you pop it.
But by the time they eat it, like it's sitting there just dangling on the rocks and stuff.
Dingle dangling.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of extra
Little bit extra
action.
Noise, flash.
But you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I've only had one day that I can truly say that they bit them equally. It was on Clarksville. Now I don't know how many we caught that day. We lost count.
I got you.
But that day it because I had my buddy on. We were actually in a Georgia Bass Trail tournament, and I was throwing the underspin. He was throwing the single swim bait, and we were catching them every cast for I don't know how long.
It sounds like a dumb question, but I'm being very serious. It just doesn't register in my mind. So you guys in the comment section too, explain to me the underspin if you're dragging it. I'm not talking about swimming it. I'm not talking about hopping it. But if you're dragging like what Alex says, I get that. Blade gives flashing noise. I see that, Fred Ashcraft. And there, Anthony Hampton said, Craftmaster, flash and tick of blades. But I still think, I guess, the blade adds noise. Like Kevin Thornton, Father Time's watching it there, so I get that. Huh?
Trent's comment.
Oh, Trent's on there?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said, "Do you lift, bro?" # water jug. # ice bath.
Listen, Thunder Thighs here is what he is. He's got Thor thighs and all that. So, yeah, do a little, make your boobs bounce.
No.
Pop your chest muscles. I know you can do it because you've done it before.
No.
Huh?
I can't do it
Yes,
anymore.
you can.
I lost it.
You lost that. Look, he's doing it right now.
Jesus.
I can do it when I run, except
Or walking down the
He's walking
stairs.
down the street. Like I'm a solid B cup right now. I got to get rid of these things. All right, going up because I started with Ron and I never got to Ron's right there. All right, let's get back. We're having a lot of fun here. His number 3 bait would be a 1/2 ounce double willow spinner bait, or if the water is below 50, a 1/2 ounce single Colorado blade. Slow rolling it. Single blade needs a big swim bait trailer to slow it down more. All right, so you guys, is a spinner bait on anybody's list?
Yeah, I like a spinner bait.
You like it in the wintertime?
Yeah.
Are you slow rolling it like he is, or?
I mean, I'm fading it like I do year round. It's the same. I'll fish a spinner bait about the same all
year round?
That's just crawling it.
Yeah, I got that. What about you?
I don't.
You don't? What about you? Because you're throwing a chatterbait. What about you?
Yeah, I do.
You throw a battle baits or something?
Yeah,
Go ahead,
I do.
go ahead and give me that
downsized.
damn plug.
It's way downsized. It's called the minigun. It's tiny. It's a tiny little sucker.
I'm giving you hell, baby. You know I love you. Go ahead and show everybody your shirt right there. Put it back on you and show your shirt. This man is a battle baits junkie right there. So, and I believe you can get 20% off or 10% off.
10% off. If
Do you
use
know
Alex
Craven
at
Moorhead? Because he plugged the battle baits in the comments.
You know Craven?
No, I don't know him.
We'll get down. Yeah, so there you go. John, we're glad you got home. John come up and hung out at the shop for the show and everything, so glad you're there. Willie Stroker. I had to read that twice. Do you guys like throwing a lightweight jig head for the forward-facing minnow in the winter? Now, lightweight. Now, you got a 3/16 tungsten on that cast.
Yeah.
You also got that little smaller, but I guess it's not necessarily –
little feller.
yeah, go ahead and show that. We're just going to go through your baits fast.
Yeah. Well, that's the Cast Echo, the 275 on a 16th ounce.
16th ounce.
Yeah, it's a nice little, it's a crappy jig ultimately, but that's what Hanks was talking about, tight line and the cricket. That's the cricket right there.
So, but it will catch bass too.
Oh, yeah, it'll catch bass, crappie, trout. Hanks freaking caught like 50 trout the other day on this thing.
Did he really?
Yeah.
It's the
Rainbows.
right size. I need to go take that up, Dan McCullough. Ball head jig, and if so, go light. I know you go light on your A-rig setup in the summer or in the warmer because you want to keep it above the grass.
I throw a 16th most of the time. I usually have 2. If we're fishing it really deep, I will put 1/8 ounce heads on there. For me, if I'm dragging on the bottom, I usually go 3/8. Now, if the fish are off the bottom, a lot of times I will go to a 1/4 or something like that. But to me, it depends on where they are. So if I'm forward facing and they're in 30 foot of water and they're moving, I'll go to a heavier head to get it down there to them.
Yeah.
But if I'm on the bottom, like we do on Lanier, it's 99.9% of the time it's 3/8.
3/8. What about you, Battle Bait?
Same as Dave.
Same as
Dave. Yeah.
Don't start talking, guy. I'm gonna call you Battle Bait from now on. There
It
you
just
go.
depends on where they're at in the water. If you needed to get down to them, you throw it heavier.
Throw
If
the
not,
heavier.
you throw it light.
That makes sense. Far Dog, his number 3 bait. Must be an age thing for our dog. I don't know. He's got a 1 ounce spinner
That's an
bait.
Oklahoma thing.
Oklahoma thing. 1 ounce spinner bait with a single number 4 gold willow leaf or a 3.5 willow right there. So, okay, yeah. So Oklahoma, I mean, their lakes compared to ours. I ain't never been out there.
That's a Jason Christie. He built a spinner bait
Out there for that. Okay,
Mhm.
makes sense. Tony Hall. Good Lord, we're back to spinnerbait again. Number 5, willow leaf gold, and a number 2, red or chart, 1/2 ounce, 3/4, white or white chart, white skirt, slow roll.
If you're having white charts, you're having a bad day.
Do what?
If you're having white charts,
You having
like,
a bad day?
If you sharten white, that's a problem.
Oh, listen at you. There you go. Like I'm slow and I can't keep up with everybody.
Come on, Danny.
Yeah. So, Tony, his number 3 is a jerk bait. I knew if anybody in the comment section would say jerk bait, Tony, because I know he talks about jerk bait. I gotta learn it. I just don't have the
like it. I
confidence
do
in it.
throw it. I mean, it's tied on every trip, and I throw it every trip. But it's not my. It's not my top.
Not your
my
thing.
5.
What is Trent? Number 3, JHM.
That's a good question for Trent. I don't
Yeah,
know.
what the hell is JHM there, Trent? But he also says a chatterbait is slept on Lanier. I do know Paul Driscoll, when he was on,
He talked about it.
he talked about throwing a chatterbait up a ditch. Now, was he on? What time of year was he on?
It was before.
It was before the TAA.
It was before it was winter.
So it was a little
Yeah,
bit
it was
later than
February,
this.
March. I wanna
February,
say.
March,
Yeah.
and he was talking about throwing it up there early, first things like in the morning when they're back there schooling.
Mhm.
So I do remember him saying that. The blade adds noise. They say it makes a little noise. We're back to all those while you guys are telling me. Pull up Craven. I went to Nickajack. This guy's all over the place. He was on
Yeah.
Clarks Hill, Sandy Cooper. Now we're on Nickajack.
Yep.
And had an unreal day on the spot choker. I think it is something they haven't seen much, but we had 39.68 for 5. Insane.
I think I
day.
saw that bag on Facebook. Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
That's a
They had
hell of a
some-
day.
They had some big ones.
They probably don't see like the spot choker as much on Nickajack.
I bet they don't. I bet you it's just because of the spot choker too. That they're just smashing it.
I mean, that is a almost 8-pound average.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a day there.
Yeah,
Craven.
it was like all largemouth. I think they had a smallmouth in there somewhere.
Really.
Yeah, it was a big one.
That's awesome. Let's say we're back to Flash and Craftmaster and Anthony. Trent. All right, so here we go. FHS dragging is 100% a deal. Regular ball head will get waxed compared to dragging and underspin. And Trent fishes some high level stuff. So I mean that's just kind of,
Fish head spin.
fish head spin.
Took me that long. I was like, what is FHS?
Yeah, well, okay, I'm glad you did it.
Yeah.
But the regular ball head will get waxed compared to dragging and underspin. Okay, I don't doubt it. I just want to know why. And if you guys saying it's the tick, a little bit of flash, I believe all you guys, 100%. So, okay, you've explained it to me, and I've learned something tonight. And that's the point of this show, is all of us to learn something. Kevin is dingle dangling like fudging. You didn't see that the other night. Kevin, I don't even forget what the hell he was talking about. It was fudging something.
Yeah.
But
He was just like you saying something's bigger than it was supposed to be.
You're fudging it.
Fudging.
You're fudging
Yes.
it. So yeah, when I talk to my wife about dingle dangling, I'm always fudging right there. So that makes sense with your definition.
Dingle
Yeah.
dangling on the rock. I guess I said dingle dangling earlier, I reckon.
Dingle dangling. Yeah. So let's see.
We must be behind. Yeah.
Trent told me he's wearing out the baby powder between them thighs. Oh yeah. What brand of baby powder do you use?
Son, just for men.
Just for men? I didn't even know they made them right
They
there.
don't.
Aldred, because he's a little bit late. And I don't know, are we going down or up? So
Going this way.
we're going down now. We've got all them guys
Yeah.
right there. Guys, if we miss your comment, throw it back out there again because we get sidetracked and all that. But Trent's number one and not Trent, John Aldridge's number one and number two are a rock crawler to find active fish, followed up with a 6-inch burrito to pick up the bigger fish in that area. For those of you that don't know what a burrito is, it is a buka bait. It is a soft buka bait, I think, right? Make sure if I'm correct. I believe that. 1/8 ounce, Trent says, is the best all around.
Jig head minnow.
Jighead minnow. Glad, thank you.
We're getting
We're
there.
getting
Trent.
there,
Hang
Trent.
with us,
Dang,
buddy.
man.
Trent with the fucking lingo.
No, right. Seriously.
Here's his number 3.
Here's his number 3, bull shad 4x4 deep. Now, John is a swim bait guy. He loves those bull shads and all that. Silver Punk's number 3 would be the Ned rig. Try it on a swinging Ned jig head. Somebody think about it. That might be good. Old Scott Barnes, the mayor, who's throwing his, if weather permitting, his no forward facing sonar tournament on Lanier this weekend. Caught his PB on Lanier on a spinner bait in the winter. So yeah, look now Trent's like now
Get
he's
with
giving
the
us
times,
get the
non-scopers.
I'm trying, Trent. I am trying my best. Let's see. That's Jighead Minnow. What's your favorite jerkbait rod? And I know yours is going to be a Falcon.
I'll let him answer.
Huh? What's your favorite jerkbait rod?
Alpha Angler Slasher.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
it's sweet.
Yeah, I'm a Falcon.
I knew you was a Falcon.
Yeah, I actually throw the weightless worm rod. It's my favorite.
And just use it on that.
Yeah, it's a 6'7".
6'7". What's your length on that?
It's a 6'10".
6'10".
Yeah.
Which way you're a bigger guy. That would work. You're a taller guy, 6'10". What about you back there, Alex? Your favorite jerkbait rod? And I know like hell battle baits don't make one.
No,
Well,
we don't.
and he jerks sitting down and we
He
jerk
jerks-
standing up.
No, I can jerk standing up too.
Guys, I did not say that.
I did.
But it's a curious thing for you guys in the comment section. You jerk standing up, you jerk sitting down. So,
I throw it on a Cashin Icon
I love my icon.
top water jerkbait rod.
Yeah, my jig
It's,
rod is an
I think
icon.
it's a 6'10", 6'9" or 6'10". It's medium heavy, extra fast.
Extra fast right there. So, and you guys in the comment section, put your favorite jerkbait rod right there. So, let's see, Tony, if we did that. I've caught my PB this time of year with a jerkbait, not having to work it that slow on a shallow lake. That makes sense. That makes sense. Jeremy Conkrite, wintertime cranking a red plug around is hard to beat. That would be one of my baits too. I was going to say the rock crawler, but I guess we've kind of quit in the order or whatever. But I love a rock crawler this time of year. Tony Hall. Look, Trent's he's just still giving us crap right there in the comment section. He's on number 2. So Tony just got number 2. I think we done gone through like 8. It's supposed to be your top baits, but we'll keep 2.8 Kitech on a 1/4 ounce head, counting rocks in the ditches, and that is an absolute killer. Now, question for you, Tony Hall: if you're throwing a white or a lighter color Kitech, are you dyeing the tail? A lot of guys will dye that tail chartreuse this time of year. They think it helps them get some more bites. I'm just curious. Trent, y'all slow with acronyms again right there. Yeah, that's right. So Tony fixed it. Kevin didn't want to say cheating, so he was fudging. He called it fudging. So that's the new word for cheating. You're fudging. Sean the Bass Wizard. Appreciate you joining us, dog, right there. I love it. Dragging an underspin is like a subtle intermittent chatterbait. I get what he's saying. The way you drag it slow, it's kind of doing that. Whatever. That's a good point there, Bass Wizard. Okay, so to me, okay, y'all guys say clicking and you say a little flash. I get all that. But that to me makes more sense than any of it. It makes it more erratic. Kind of. You think it can do that?
Kind of like a blade bait in the wintertime.
Mm-hmm.
Similar.
Yeah,
deal.
that makes sense. But appreciate you watching us tonight. And I hope I said Sean. I hope it is Sean. So, and I hope you come back, man. Thanks a lot. Craven's back. If I had to have one bait year round, it would be a Tokyo rig with a lizard. I've caught fish up north and down south, and even peacock bass in the Amazon. I told you that fella gets around.
Dude, he gets around
On that bait. It's hard to beat, and it gets bit. So far, Craven, just tonight, I'm trying to keep track. Clark's Hill, Santee Cooper, Nickajack, Amazon. And Amazon. Dude, I love it. I love it right
I wonder
there.
if he's talking about the pond behind the Amazon warehouse.
Yeah, right. Mr. Stroker said, me and Phil McCrevis had 25.86 last year, all on a spinnerbait in February. It can be done. It can be done. But it's just funny that if you hear guys talking, and actually if you go to YouTube, because I was looking on some of the videos on YouTube and the top 5 baits, only one, maybe two out of the 20 or 30 channels, and I looked at their thumbnails. I didn't even watch the videos, but I was looking at the thumbnails, had a spinnerbait on it. There was a lot of different things. So, but it seems to me that the spinnerbait tonight is getting a lot more love than I thought it would get, And I also guess too, it depends on what you fish. Now get some. I get this. Go up. Did we miss any? Let's see.
They're all just talking what rod they use.
Okay, so Trent ALX rods jerkbait is, and yes,
Money.
is this it? Hal Moore 7.3 Shimano. Now this gets one though. This would be a good challenge. First one to get bit on a Hellraiser in 2025 is my hero, right there. So sounds like a challenge.
I don't even own one. Not
I
gonna
own
spend the money.
That's still the most gimmicky bait I have ever seen made in my life. And of course, we can always count on good old Ron right there. The number 4 bait for Ron is the old Baldwin chain, 1/2 ounce weight with a trick worm or a French fry type worm. Have to fish it really slow, but when most else fails, it can work. And that's just like a standard, don't you think? I mean, just throughout the years. How long have people been throwing no ball and chain?
Forever.
Yeah.
It was if it wasn't the original FFS, it was definitely the original side scan.
Gotcha right there. So going up a little bit. Let's see, going up. All right. Dude, you got some pranksters. Probably so. Yeah, I know. So see, that's the thing, Anthony. Pull up Anthony. No, the next one. So here's the thing. So there's been a couple of them in there tonight that I'm reading. I'm just trying to be like, I noticed that and I didn't want to say nothing, especially the other one. And I wanted to say that. And when he said the Tokyo rig, I was like, yeah, but what if his name really was Craven? And I'd feel like crap. That's so dangerous doing this, man. I know you guys are doing it, but it's like, I don't know. And I, remember I said something about, and see, I with Will Lee Stroker. Yes, I was like, I had to read it twice, and I'm like, I love you guys. Is all I can say is I love you, but I have to treat everybody like God. I'd feel bad. I would feel bad. Maybe that's his name. I don't know, but if he's all over the damn world. David Weaver, right there. That's always the danger about doing this crap live. I was following you, Anthony, but I just didn't know yet. The Tokyo rig thing kind of made me think, because like that Joker, like, all right. So, and also too, let's be honest. You said you saw pictures of those fish on.
Yeah, those were actually real fish.
Okay, but was it Craven doing it, or?
I don't know. I just saw the bag. I didn't see what his name was, but it could be Craven. I don't know. I'll try to find him on Facebook.
It's your fault. Anthony, it's your fault if that's his real name right there. Not like, I just do my best right here. Pull up Bar Dogs right there. Next one. Number 4 for me is a Gene LaRue. Did I say that right? Yeah. Wobblehead with a green pumpkin Strike King Rage Crawl with the tips dyed orange or red, counting rocks like a mother. So, yeah, I mean, I get that. So, yeah. And I knew the Phil McCrevis, too, was in there because that was that was Cooper and Hayden Seabolt and all them when they were on. So I kind of thought, you remember that?
No, when was that?
Who did I have on? Who did I have on that night?
Was it Kaz?
No, Kaz was with the last time Kaz was on was when Clint did the show, and I was not here. I took my daughter out that night.
That's right.
But it was somebody younger, I want to say. It wasn't Dylan Nate. No, I'll have to remember. But I like in my back of my mind, I'm sitting there thinking all three of those the Phil McCrevis has popped up before. I love you. And it's all these young ass pranksters is what to do, but I love you guys right there. You make the show fun. Let's go ahead real quick before we lose everybody. And let's go ahead and do our question of the night. Now tonight, if you get the question of the night right, I'm going to send you some high vis 10-pound Power Pro braid. All right. So that's what we're going to do. It's a very easy question. Kevin is probably going to roll in his grave when he hears me read it off because it's so simple, but you had to pay attention to tonight's show. So go ahead and let's pull up our great logo for Serve IT. Guys, if you have a company that needs a full solution IT solution, a full solution IT solution. Boy, I botched that one.
You're good.
A full service IT solution. And your company needs that. Serve IT can do that based with extreme customer service. They control the whole gamut of the situation from managing it. Anytime there's a problem, they're on it and they will stick with it until the problem is solved. So you can go to Serve IT if you got a company and you are in those needs. They are the ones for you. Now, also, too, if you're looking for a career change, possibly, if you want to explore the IT, have an IT background, go to serveit.com and click on their career section and tell them you saw it at Fish North, Georgia, and that will get you at least a chance to send your resume in. And he's looking, Alan, the owner, he's looking for guys in the outdoor industry because we're outgoing, we know how to talk, we're customer service oriented, and that's what he's looking for. So you may have no experience in the IT industry, but hey, don't let that slow you down. Go ahead and at least talk to him and see if this might be the big change for you. So there you go. So sorry, Alan, I botched that with the beginning tonight, but hey, still, it's a great company to be. Now, all right, so yeah, look at Willie. I've been getting crap about my name forever, but I got it from my grandpa. I know. So see, I did go to school with a girl named Anita Moon.
Really?
And a guy's name was Harry Bottoms. That was his real name, Harry Royce Bottoms. We called him Royce, but his name in the yearbook says Harry Bottoms. No doubt. Nice guy, but I mean, that's a true story. You can look it up in my annual. Let's do the question real quick. All right. For the Power Pro, what is the date of the Sonar Pros Winter Seminar presented by Smith Built Construction Group? First one that gets it in the comment section will get. And Trent, you can't win it. Freaking Craven won it like that. So, hey, Craven, you know, the good thing about this, yeah, you're not from Denmark and I'm a little different. Even if you are, you got to give me an address and a name. So you got to at least give me an address and I can find you from that. Huh?
I'm not from Denmark.
Yeah.
Is that a meal?
I don't know. Is that a meal?
I don't know.
If that is, I'm going to kick you right square in the ass when I see you right there. So anyway, Craven, send me an address via Messenger on Facebook and we will see. Look at Trent's trying to get into that. I'm not even going to read that today. Hey,
send him your way. He's sending business your way, Danny.
Is it in a name like?
No, don't say it.
Yeah, see, Trent. Yeah, I'm gonna send you some guys, the Sonar Pros, right there. So, actually, so Craven got it right there. So February 2nd, guys, listen. I'm telling you, that's a hell of a lineup. Patrick Walters, Drew Cook, Drew Benton, Austin Felix, Buddy Gross, and our man Trent Palmer himself are going to be doing seminars right there. So go ahead and scroll on down. Let's get past all the goobs right there in the comment section. Go on down. It is at Forsyth Central. You know, I went to high school there. I graduated from South Forsyth. I went my senior year. They gave us a choice when they opened up South. But my senior ring still says, and it used to be Forsyth County High, the only one there. I still got a bulldog on my senior ring and all that. So we caught up?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. Good, because I think them guys have run it all out. And, okay, go ahead. In case Craven is not a real individual, who's our next guy? Would it be Tony Hall or who?
Yeah, it'd be Tony.
All right, Tony, we'll see. Huh?
No, Willie. Yeah, Willie.
Who? No, because read that.
Willie Stroker. He's got a picture, though.
Yeah, but he said up here.
I've been getting crap about my name forever, but I got it from my grandpa.
Oh, yeah, Willie is a.
Okay, so listen, Willie,
Yeah.
if you, my apologies if you are. So I tell you what, you go ahead and send me your address on Messenger, Danny Pruitt on Facebook. Hell, I'll send you one too. How about that? And if Tony Hall's the next real guy, I'll send you one too.
Is Tony Hall the one too?
Yeah, I don't know. Dude. At this point, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. But you know what? It's what makes the show fun.
Yeah.
And you're right. On live TV, I got to read it. I mean, I got to read that stuff. But the first one was that "Would You Blow Me?" and it was spelled like it was spelled like Cajun. And I was trying my damnedest to pronounce it the right way, and the guys are all dying laughing. And I'm like, "What the hell is everybody laughing?" They go, "Danny, read it slow."
You still probably read it wrong.
I did, but it was like, "Would you?" It was
Would you? And then
Would
blow
you?
me.
And it was like, but the Jablow Me was spelled Jeabl UE or something like that. I'm like, it just sounded Cajun to me. So I was trying to read it. I was just trying to be polite. So anyway, all right. So let's get back to some of these baits. Now that we probably ran all the women off and everything with that, give me another great bait for the wintertime this time of year for Gunnersville type style. Oh, actually, I tell you what, I haven't let Alex go first. Let me let Alex go first. Alex, what is your what is your next bait that you like throwing in the winter? You said a shaky head. What else do you say? A jig, and then what?
I said spot choker.
A spot choker,
and then I'll go with my little cricket.
Your version of the cricket.
My version of the cricket. It's tiny. It's not even 2 inches long. It's Get out of here.
That is a sound bite for
I got it right here though. I'm showing it. From another little guy called BFE Baits. They make small like crappy jigs and stuff.
I love you, dude.
It's a crappy bait.
I get it.
And I haven't actually fished it yet. I'm gonna give it a shot though.
Go ahead. That's good. But you understand why I'm laughing,
yeah,
right?
I know why you're laughing.
So Willie says mine's not even 2 inches either. Not even 2 inches. It's cold outside. So you just opened up that door, baby. Right
I'm a grower, not a shower. All right.
I am too, dude. That's the way it is. Like that. Yeah.
Dude, this weekend I was pulling 2 inches of pecker out of 4 inches of clothes, and it was not fun.
It is so hard for me. Like, do you put them overalls on or something like
Grabbing
that? I'm
it
like,
with them cold hands too.
yes. And I'm like, mine is like just not to be seen in there. Like, and then you do your best because even when I get it out there to where I can, it's no thicker than the clothes anyway. And I'm just hoping I don't piss on myself, dude. So
he's sitting there pinning it back like that.
You are. I'm like, yeah, you're doing this right here to prevent spillage or however it is. And then
leaning over forwards.
But you know what? This is old deer hunting trick. This is honest to God's truth. If your hands are cold and you've got a Coke bottle or anything, pee in the Coke bottle, put it in your hands and hold it, or put it inside your shirt because that son of a gun is 98.5 degrees right there, and it will warm your hands up. I didn't say pee on them.
That's some Kevin Thornton shit right
But
there.
seriously,
I feel like, yeah.
What you got your hat over your head for right there? Dude, I've warmed my hands up many a times with a bottle of pee.
Danny, what are you doing today? Well, I'm snuggled up to a bottle of piss.
But only for
Trying to
like 5
stay
minutes, like in an emergency situation, dude.
I've never been that dire.
Oh, I have. One time I had to listen. One more thing. Okay, listen.
God.
Talking about deer hunting stories. Like every year in October, up until the time I was like 50. You know how your mama still babies you and all that? My mom makes the most awesome popcorn balls. You know, the marshmallow, gooey, buttery popcorn balls. So she sent me one of these daggum Ziploc bags full of these things. So I took it deer hunting with me, and I'm up 20 foot up a tree, and all of a sudden it hits. So I'm dumping all my popcorn things into my backpack. That was my toilet, dude. Name how many people you know that have crapped in a Ziploc bag 20 foot up a tree with all layers and stuff like that on. I managed it. I had to wipe my ass with my socks. I had to cut my socks off.
That's rough. I've taken a lot of shits in the woods. That one's rough.
Dude, too. And it was like I had a lot of fiber because I ate probably about 100 of them popcorn balls the night before. Hey, that Ziploc bag and a Coke bottle, that should be in everybody's backpack going deer hunting.
Yep.
Think about that. You deer hunt?
Yeah.
You ain't never peed in a bottle.
No.
You guys try. Y'all think
I pee
I'm
in a
crazy.
bottle driving all the time, but
You do. And let me ask you.
But I'm not keeping my hands warm with it.
No.
But you know how warm it is when you pick that bottle up and
Hell
sit
yeah,
it back
it's hot
over there.
bottle. Yeah, for
So
sure.
in an emergency situation, if your hands are cold, pee in a bottle.
Okay.
98.5 degrees, man, or whatever it is. If you got a fever, even better.
0.6.
Okay,
Huh?
I think
0.6,
yeah.
whatever the hell it is.
I think Craven's actually real because I actually know who that is.
Oh, go pull that back up.
Yeah. I think he's real because that's my cousin's ex-husband, and what he's talking about is actually
Clint, are
is
you related
true.
to Jimmy Bartlett in the mountains of Tennessee? Me and him boned everything from here to Pennsylvania.
And they got a divorce because he
Boned
went
everything.
Yeah, he
Boned
did.
everything from here to
He
Pennsylvania.
really did. Yeah.
Well, Craven, I'm sorry. Send me your address, dude. I'm gonna send you some Power Pro. You guys are killing me.
I didn't know. I hadn't heard that name in a long time.
Well, see, I was right in at the beginning.
Yeah.
I was saying that.
Yeah.
It was all Anthony Hampton's fault. He's the one that said I had the prankster. So
Yeah.
don't shake Danny's hands in the winter.
True.
I didn't pee
True.
on my hands. I peed in the bottle. I just held the bottle. Okay, that's it. David Weaver, right there. Pull him up. Use that trick plenty of times to get my hands warm.
Might as well just pee on your hands at that point.
Okay, so
But then they're going to
But
get
then
cold.
you can't reuse it.
huh?
But then your hands will get cold if you piss on them.
Yeah.
It will, but it'll be warm for a second. Like if you know.
But if you hold the bottle, they don't get wet.
Yeah, for sure. The bottle is definitely better. Do you guys know who Moises Alou is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Baseball player.
Baseball player.
That sounded like another name.
No,
He used to play for the Astros.
At Astro, yeah. So so his dad, and then you had the young one. So Felipe was his dad, but before every game, and I've read this many a times, before every game, Moises Alou would pee on his hands.
I've heard that.
And he said it kept his hands from cracking. David's like, listen, that's true though. I didn't do it, but he would do that before every game.
Okay.
Now, if it kept your hands from cracking, would you do it?
No.
Oh, I'd be peeing all over
All right,
myself.
here
I'd
we
do
go.
that.
Here we go.
Danny first to offer peeing on a jellyfish sting. Done it. Danny's going to get up buck naked off the back of a deer stand. Listen, it was, and I'll get the Warrens thing in a second. We're just talking about this. This show is taking a turn. Just pee out of the tree. The deer don't care. Listen, I do that, but if my hand's cold, I pee in the bottle. All right, so we got a couple serious questions now. We'll try to get back on track, but we all know how the live well
Off
works.
the rails.
Sometimes it's fun to get off the rails.
Oh, yeah.
It's fun. I got another one for you about Mark Grace we'll talk about in a second. 6-inch hollow belly swim bait with a Strike King internal weight does well for me this time of year. Yeah? Anybody? How about any of you guys? Y'all throwing that?
I like a 6-inch.
Or something similar?
I like a 6-inch swim bait this time of year for sure. Like a little HUD or even like a bigger line through or something like that. Like I do like crawl in the bottom, kind of those same places you're throwing a crankbait. And
You just letting it sink down and doing it.
Yeah, just I'm throwing it up shallow or floating it over the timber.
Now, are you targeting largemouth more with that?
No, I mean,
I know a big spot will hit it, but
yeah, spots will hit it. But you just have to take that into consideration. Like if I'm on a fishery that's mainly largemouth and smallmouth, or I'm targeting big largemouth, then I'll go with more of a jig hook style. But if I'm on linear, then I do like a mag draft or something like that with the treble, just because spotted bass in their mouths.
I got that. James Archer, appreciate you joining us tonight. Are there sections of the lake that are better for spotted bass during the winter? I was on the south end for the first time in a long time and struggled to find bait/bass. I will say that the fellow that came in today that was talking about the water temp that I mentioned earlier, he said he was in Baldridge. Normally Baldridge is loaded with bait this time of year.
Yep.
He couldn't find any.
I didn't find a lick of bait. I fished Baldridge on Sunday, and I didn't.
Like Baldridge is like absolute, but that's not the norm. Normally Baldridge has got bait.
Yeah.
So your struggle in Baldridge being on the south end of the lake, normally I would say the south end of the lake is the best, but you fished Lanier lately. So,
yeah.
I mean, where did you catch fish at?
I still caught some on the south end, but there was not a dang lick of bait anywhere.
Yeah. I would still say I would go south, mid-lake or south. I don't know that there's sections that are better, but I would, if I were struggling to find fish on Lanier right now, I'd just go to ditches because that's where they should be.
Yeah, they should.
Should be. If I had no forward-facing sonar or anything like that, and I wasn't throwing a rock crawler or rock shallow or something, I would be dragging something in a ditch. And again, I'm not a professional angler, but that's what I would do. You can pee on your feet to cure athlete's feet.
That is true. From the medical professional.
I guess that's why I never get it. So
it's because you're always trying to pull it out of your bibs and peeing on your feet.
Yeah, right. Seriously. And I go commando too. So you gotta be careful with all that.
That's a different type of fungus.
I guess so. Like that. So Clinton Bate is from Mary Alice back. Okay, so Craftmaster's been in there. I don't know where the guy that I talked to fished. I would say he's probably going out of Mary Alice out towards the main a little bit. But that's what he told me in the shop. So that's just kind of why I'm giving you guys that information. So I let Alex go first. We never got to you because he was talking about throwing his 2-inch cricket.
Yeah.
And that's what sent the show off the rails.
Yeah.
It's
Alex's
fault.
2-inch cricket. What's another good one? I tell you what, let me because you've been talking Gunnersville on that. Let me bring you over to Lanier or Allatoona, one of these lakes. And you have something that hasn't been mentioned tonight. Would you try something like that? Would you be throwing you throw the A-rig on Gunnersville? You wouldn't throw the A-rig on Lanier?
No, they're never in the boat. That Demiki armor shad on a drop shot.
On
That's
a
a
drop
good bait.
shot.
It's a real. I stumbled up on that on a herring spawn, and it was just ridiculous the number of fish that would bite that thing. But it does work. You can get in those ditches and bomb that thing out there, put on a 1/4 ounce, 3/16 ounce weight. It's on the bottom anyway,
Right.
and just drag it through there. It looks like those little bitty minnow baits, but it's just sitting right off the bottom.
Let me ask you, because nobody, let's see. Let's pull up Trent. And did I do Ron Swinford's number 5?
He hasn't put it up yet.
Seems like I thought he threw a number 5 up. Hold on, Trent. Let's scroll up. I don't want to miss Ron Swinford's comment. I thought, right
he
there.
sure did.
I thought Ron put out a number 5. 1/8 slider head with a 4-inch dead ringer worm, green pumpkin with a chart dyed tail. When all else fails, it will catch them. But wow, it is slow fishing, dragging on the bottom. I think a lot of the consensus tonight is dragging.
It's slow.
Even if from a Ned rig to, the underspin that we learned about and all that, but everything it's slowed down. Is there a fast presentation that you can use? I would say the rock crawler, those kind. But what else is a fast technique in the winter? You
A jig head minnow when they see it.
just run like hell from
Yeah.
it or something on forward
Yeah.
facing? Okay. That makes sense. All right, now let's go all the way back down to what Trent was getting ready to impart some wisdom on us down here. Okay. Just because you don't see them, and we're talking about bass glued to the bottom, doesn't mean they're not there. Fish and bait glued to the bottom this time of year. Easy to scan and move on. Try throwing in some areas you don't see fish and I think he's going to probably put surprise when the bottom comes alive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love.
Yeah, and those fish are there, like you said, you caught them, but it was just the and Kevin said rattle trap, which you said too. So we got Kevin's comment, but it's just the lack of bait is just. There's been several people saying that, and I will say this, that when Ryan and I went out and fished, he would pull into a ditch, and I always found it interesting. He said you can have too much bait.
100%.
If you get too much bait, if you're showing bait just freaking everywhere, we wouldn't even fish that. We'd go on and try to find one with bait, but with a little less bait right there. There's your nightly yawn in right there.
Yeah, I got it in.
You got it in. So, all right. So, yes. Okay. So Ron went ahead and posted it again right there.
Yeah.
That's another thing too, especially for 2D guys that don't have forward facing and all that, is throwing a bait on the bottom or something where you don't see it. They should be there. And then all of a sudden you're seeing arches. They come up.
Yeah. I find a lot of fish this time of year if I'm looking on the bottom on side scan and more importantly, down scan. I'm looking, I'll take, normally I run a full size side scan.
Mm-hmm.
I'll swap it in the winter. And a lot of times especially on ditches, I'll run a full size down scan on a 12 to make sure I'm not missing anything. And they'll look like a BB that's glued to the bottom, and it'll just be just a little bit of arch, like you can see half the BB, and you'll fire in there. And if you get one, like I said, with spots, it's usually not one; it's 30.
And that's why it's huge. It doesn't matter if you have forward-facing sonar or just down scan or whatever. You got to make sure your stuff's dialed in, because if you're not using your unit to its full potential, or like you're not running the proper power, clean power, all that stuff, Sonar Pros plug. But if you're not running it clean.
I love it. Hey, you got to get them in there, baby.
It makes a big difference, though. When you're looking for a BB-sized bass on a screen and your shit's not clear, you ain't going to see it.
See, that's something, and I just remember from a show a long time ago when we did have LJ on, and that was back before forward facing got blowed up, and he was, he was talking to 2D, and he was like, he looks for a pixel. Like if there is a pixel space between red here and red hard bottom, or whatever. If there was a pixel, that's a fish.
On Lanier,
But you got to have it dialed in like what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see as many on down scan, either 2D. I usually run a straight down scan, but I've caught them on 2D
Yeah,
when I couldn't see them anywhere else.
it makes sense. So, John G. Wilson, he finally showed up tonight. What's up, John? Appreciate you coming. Tony Collum, that full size down is sneaky good. It showed me a bunch this year.
Full size down imaging.
Yeah.
What he was talking about.
I'm telling you what, like I got that daggum 360. I don't care if you put it on a 24-inch screen. I can't figure out what the hell a fish is on that thing. Now listen, I can pick up individual rocks.
They look like grains of rice on.
That's what everybody says.
Yeah.
It looks like grains of rice, but maybe I ain't got my settings right because hell, everything looks like grains of rice down there. Like, how about this? I got a question. Trent, you're on. And so I want you to answer this question. So in the middle of a Mega 360, whatever, the 360, you've got the circle where the boat is. Occasionally in that circle, I will see white dots. Is that fish?
They're following you.
Huh?
They're following you. They're up on the boat.
But but is that fish? Is that basically a side imaging view? I'm serious.
It could be suspended crawfish.
Hell, it probably is.
I don't know.
But I've had several times where I've
is.
got my 360 and I'm seeing the rocks, I'm seeing all the structure, the shadows like you're supposed to. But in that circle, to one side or the other will be a bunch of white dots. And I've often wondered, is that fish? And again, I'm not an expert. So if any of you guys out there that got the 360 or know about it, let me know what I'm looking at. Because it's always to the side of the boat a little bit.
Yes.
It is fish. Well, I'll be damned. All right, so Trent, we're going to get the other stuff. All right, Trent, so here's a question. If that is fish and the rings are set out 12, 24, whatever the hell they are, and it's inside that black ring, are they under the boat? Those fish or bait, those are fish or bait in the water column. But are they under my boat within the first 10-foot ring?
Yeah, I would assume so. Because isn't
Because
the black, like it's like side
Well, that's what
scan
I'm saying, yeah.
how the black is.
And it doesn't happen often,
Water
but it has happened before. And I'm like, While Trent's answering that question, Far Dog number 5. For me, hair jigs, 1/8 to 3/4 ounce. Now, hair jigs, a lot of people don't talk about them, but that is a really popular bait. I'm going to get back to that. I want to read what Trent said about that. The black area within the circle is your water column. More likely fish following your bait in. So they're just in the water column and just want to see. It's hell, Hugo Dangle's putting another one of them RTS. Again, I don't have the terminology. Is RTS window same as a is RTS window same as a scope? We'll get to that real quick. So, Trent, I got one more question for you. So if I'm looking at my 360 and those are fish in the water column, then they are to that side of the boat where it's showing. So somewhere, say if they're coming on the left side of the boat, that means there's fish. No, it's about his answer. No, it's about a 20, 30-foot radius from the 360 pod. Depends on the depth as the water column area changes based upon bottom depth. Okay, that's something. That's something I got to figure out. Oh, yeah, and Hugo is another prankster. Yeah, so we're going to – I got you now, Hugo Dangle. I guess unless it's really somebody. So
if Hampton went in the comments,
I don't know, man. But that's just something I've always thought about with that 360. Now let's get back to the hair jig. Like guys will use a lot of stuff, even the float and fly. You ever done that?
No, I got some guys that are really good at it that I want to like show me the works on how that works.
Big up on Carters. A lot of guys on Carters catch them. Well, that fly is just sitting there, and it's because of the material too. Just dangling with that. But I know that say Dane or good grief, what's his name? FCP Fishing. You know what I'm talking about?
Dane Hunter?
No, not Dane Hunter.
You said Dane. That's the
only why is my brain going? Who's FCP?
I don't know his name. I don't know.
I know his name. He's been a guest on here before, and all of a sudden it's slipping my mind. It'll come to me in a second. Dude, he is absolutely big on hair jigs.
Sal?
No, not Sal. His name, guys in the comment section. FCP.
Right.
Dana is his
Dana. I said Dane. It's Dana. That's why James Archer, Dana. That's what was throwing me off when I said Dane. And I'm like, no, Dana. Yeah, there you go, John. I know it. And I talked to him. I just forgot his name all of a sudden. But he loves throwing a hair jig for spots on Lanier. And he catches striper, largemouth spots. He'll come to a point. He'll zoom that joker off the bottom. And he'll pop, pop, pop 3 times, let it fall. Pop, pop, pop 3 times, let it fall. He catches all kinds of fish. You should see shadows from the fish in the water column, Michael Harden says. It's probably operator error. It's probably 100% operator error. So we'll go with that. Any of you guys ever throw hair jigs? I've had guys ask me a time, and I'm like, I don't time.
I do in the summertime, and then I'll throw a small one in the wintertime, but mainly scoping with it like you would with a JHM or a cricket.
We're getting good, dude. I should be writing this crap down.
Yeah, I know.
You know, by
Take some notes.
You know, by Thursday, somebody's gonna come back in the comment section. I'm gonna be like, Jay, I won't know what the hell he's talking about.
Yeah.
How about this though? Look, a lot of guys equate wintertime fishing to summertime fishing because the fish are deep. Now I know we can call them up. We got the topwater bite, but like deep fishing, do you find that to be true? Like some techniques you might use in the summer translate to the winter?
I feel like it's similar. I mean, you think you got a jig and spoon versus a flutter spoon, right? And it's similar variations of techniques or reaction styles. It's just that winter baits, you think they're more downsized, right? Like we have 3-inch swim baits, we got 2-inch stuff, we got Ned rigs. And your jigs are a little bit more finessey than you'd throw a big football jig in the summertime. Like I think it's similar presentations, but you're just downsizing a little bit in most of your areas in the wintertime, I feel like.
I got you. Okay. Trent says shadows are actually fished closer to the bottom. And then specks are typically fished off bottom, more suspended. Shadow casting is closer to the bottom or glued to the bottom. So the shadows, what I'm seeing on that. I got to learn that this year. And again, that's time. Now let me ask you this, Trent. Just out of curiosity, I'm running that thing on a 9-inch helix. Would I see better clarity or be able to tell a difference if I got a 12 or you gave me a 12-inch helix? Huh?
Yeah.
You
you'd definitely see it better. It's the same thing as live scope with a 10-inch versus a 12. You see it a lot better than you go up to 16.
But shouldn't I be able to see it on a 9?
You'll be able to see it, but it's just like phones. I mean, think about seeing a picture on an iPhone versus on an iPad. Like
that makes sense.
Like you on an iPad and you're on Navionics versus on your phone. I feel like it's 2 different things.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I moved my 9 since you were up there.
Yeah,
I put my 12 up to run my active target on. I've been running on 9 forever.
Yeah,
and then I bumped the 9. I just flipped them out.
Do you see? Have you seen a difference?
It's easier to tell. I mean, I'm blind too, so
clarity, no difference. 9 to 15.
Yeah, that's the Sonar Pro. Listen to him.
Yeah, but see, that's what I was thinking. Like, would it be?
Give you a unit?
Huh?
He don't want to give you a unit.
He don't want to give me a unit. No. But bigger screen is always better. Come on, Trent. I know you got. Hey, some of them used units you pull off. Help a brother out right there.
Real-time sonar.
RTS window stands for real-time sonar. On most sonar units, it's usually an option to turn on or off with the conventional sonar. Yeah, that makes sense. And that he does this now. 9 inches harder with a 360. Since the image has a lot of wasted space, and it does like that. And I maybe I made a mistake because you can, of course, increase it on your graph. And so that circle is in the middle, but I was like trying to get more of what was around to see if I could do that. Just like a TV in the living room, bigger screen is always better. Okay, so just like I know you got Cook and Walter and them boats and all that. Tell them not to sell their stuff, but just donate it to Fish North Georgia. Their old stuff that you're replacing. That would be nice.
Yeah. Just make them do a giveaway at the seminar.
Giveaway to me?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Give me the question before they.
Yeah,
that would be awesome. All right, I do got another question. The A-rig is always talked about as being a wintertime bait. And I asked you if you would throw an A-rig on Lanier. And you said no, but you would throw it like hell on Gunnersville. Why would you not throw your A-rig on Lanier this time of year?
Water clarity. And it could just be totally in my head.
You want some dirtier stained water.
I want something that's got a lit. And Gunnersville can get clear.
Yeah.
It never gets Lanier clear. The clearest
Lanier
water
was
at
so
Guntersville
clear
is
this
in the
weekend.
bathtub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lanier, I could see the bottom 15 foot
Now,
this weekend.
No, really?
Yeah, it
Now,
was
I
clear.
have heard of this. I had a buddy of mine that used to fish with me. We were fishing the top 6 on Hartwell, which is clear. I don't know this is Lanier clear, but it's pretty clear. He was fishing with a college kid that was stored an A-rig. And what he would do, he would throw that A-rig out there, and he never got bit on it. But he would call him to the boat, and he'd drop shot and catch him.
Really?
Yes.
So he was using a 2-rod approach.
Uh-huh. He threw the A-rig to pull the fish to the boat so he could drop shot and catch him.
Trent, they would gladly sell you their boats and throw in the grass for free. Yeah, I bet they would. That's interesting. But it does, the technique now on Lanier of 2 guys working together in tandem, throwing a single swim bait and pulling it, and the guy behind ready with something to drop on or get the net, one of the two.
Or throw right in there wherever that fish, when they're fighting, get it. If you can get another bait in there, a lot of times you will double up.
Yeah, Alex is giving me that.
Yeah, that right there.
Show Danny's this. These are 4 to 6 pounders on Guntersville. Took this picture about 5 years ago in the Toyota Top 20.
But that's the 360.
You could drop those coordinates.
Those are fish. I don't know if you guys could see this up close, but I'm not going to get a good zoom in on that. But, okay, those are fish.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, I thought they was rocks. I mean, seriously, okay, that makes sense. I'm just going to go. I'm about to go out on a trip with Trent. Show me that crap.
Learn your grass.
Learn my grass. Graph setup's very important, and I'll be honest with you. Most people like me and all that, we think we can do that, but to get it dialed in right, the majority of us really are lacking in that. The difference between this, whatever hurts and that hurts and all that stuff.
That's something I've been playing with a lot lately.
It is something that's when booking a sonar trip makes sense.
Yeah, you got to do it with lip sticker fishing, like I did.
Listen, when I went out with Kevin, I will say this. When we were fun fishing, not the tournament, when we were fun fishing, we sat down and I watched him side scan. And I probably learned a lot or just things that I'm like, had no clue. But he got to talking all that math that Trent and all them know, all those different settings and all that, that it really would take somebody walking you through your unit and just kind of, doing it, and you've been able to do it over and over. Some guys are good at it, but I think the majority of us are out there with sonars that are not working up to their full potential.
Yep.
I mean, don't you think that's pretty common?
Most guys probably just slap them on and let it ride.
Yeah. Well,
or they get like a back of the room job done on their boat of just slap it on there like I'll do it myself, and it's like, it ain't always a bit like I don't trust myself to do anything on my truck, let alone my boat. Like I ain't.
And one thing I've noticed is having that clean power supply. So I recently, in the last 6 months, switched to lithiums, and mine was set up by a guy who is a really good Lowrance guy.
Yeah,
really. I mean, he's the first call when Bassmasters, Hartwell, and all the things. And going to lithiums made a huge difference in clarity and what you can see. My graphs just came to life.
It cleaned up my live scope so much too. Just running lithiums for everything instead of running just off the lead acids.
Gotcha. So Clint's he's typing in the comment sections. He's got here's the best rule of thumb for the 360, and so I imagine on his next one,
I've used Ken's 360, and I do better with it, like at a Guntersville, a little more shallow. I'm not used to hummingbirds. I mean, he'll tell you I've almost poked a hole in his helix trying to move something around because I'm used to touch screens.
Yeah.
But up there, I can interpret what it's saying, and it's just easier for me. It's like when I learned forward facing sonar, I was on Lanier and I was fishing brush. So I'm like, all right, those little blobs that were above the thing came up, so that's a fish. If I'd have learned it on Guntersville, I'd still be scratching. I probably wouldn't even be using it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it was easy to see.
His pull up his next thing. So run mega in flat bottoms or 20 foot less of water. And that is, now that, as bad as I am, that is something I can tell you 100% is the truth, because that thing sucks. You can't use it in deep water. Now, maybe I can't get mine to show up anything.
Maybe there's your problem.
Okay, run 455 kilohertz for deeper, more contouring water. Well, hell yeah, that's my problem. 'Cause, like, I have no confidence in touching all them buttons and
Yeah.
settings and stuff like that. But I will say this, like I mean, on the near,
Write it down.
Oh yeah, okay,
Write it down.
455 right here. We're gonna write it down. That's for deeper water, 455. I will say this though, that thing when you get it in shallow water, and if you want to know if a stump, a rock, or something like that,
It's really good.
it's ridiculous. Absolutely, Alex. Are you planning on fishing any of the Slay Nation tournaments?
I'm fishing all of the Slay Nation tournaments.
There you go. There's your answer,
except for the river. But I might end up fishing that river tournament actually.
Is that not? But you're gonna be at Juliet in the 8th.
Yeah, I'll be at Juliet.
There you go. So you guys want his autograph, and all
I'll be
that.
there
He'll
making my donation.
making your donation.
Yeah.
Sign some hats and stuff while you're down there. For you know,
Give
Sign
away
some
a battle
babies.
baits beaver.
give away a
bug.
battle
right.
baits, yeah, or your 2-inch cricket, or whatever that is.
I can't give that away. I'm married.
Yeah, I know, right? Hey, I did read an interesting stat. This has no. He brought up 2-inch cricket. This should be my question of the night.
I didn't say it.
Listen, honestly, all you guys are going to lie.
This is gonna hurt.
It's not going to hurt. What is the average size of a male organ, erect
Oh my god.
and flaccid?
I'm gonna Google it.
I'd say 2.5 and 5.
What do you say?
I was gonna say 2 to 5.
2 to 5? Erect or flat? Or erect?
No, flat and then erect.
Flat.
2 or 5.
Flat.
Flat tires.
Okay, so listen. Don't give out the answer because I'm
Oh,
gonna tell you
wow.
what I read.
This makes me feel good.
It makes me feel fantastic, dude. Seriously. The average size, depending on which website you read, but this
Which website?
is and I won't tell you why I was with this, is 5. Okay, so it was 3. The one I saw was 3.2 flaccid, 5.17 erect. And that is in inches. Now, what about you? Okay, what are you reading over there?
Yeah, it's the same. So
What are you? What
Flaccid.
website is it? What
it's just that
You
the
Googled
first
it.
thing that pops up. Yeah, the AI
He
overview.
Googled it.
Yeah.
What does it say?
The average flaccid is 3.61 long and 3.6 in circumference.
Oh, I didn't even throw in circumference.
The
Yeah.
average erect is 5.16 inches long and 4.59 inches in circumference.
I feel like John Holmes right now, baby. I read that and I was like, yes. And too, if you're fat, like when you're supposed to measure it, listen to this. Listen to this. You're supposed to use it when you pull your tape measure out. You're supposed to actually go to where the bone, your pelvic bone starts, kind of whatever. So you got to push in a little bit.
You gain an
You
extra
gain-
8. He's got an
measuring in
1/8 in
6/10
girth from that
inches.
Wendy's Frosty.
But I saw that and I was like, you know, somebody in this world is hurting the averages.
Mama didn't know how good she had it, did she?
Oh, listen, I walked into bed like I was daggum Superman after I read that. It didn't do nothing. We went to sleep, but I walked in there like, I'm serious, like a daggum, guinea rooster just puffed up all like that. Like, hell yeah.
These boys don't know what a guinea rooster is.
You know what a guinea rooster is?
No, I like it though. That sounds hilarious. What is it?
It looks like a helmet with legs. It's a guinea. It's a guinea fowl.
Tony called him, you
Yeah.
always measure from underneath. And I do that halfway up my back. 28. No, seriously. Okay, tell the story. Anthony Hampton said, no, dude, I seriously. No, actually, no. Where did I get that? Why did I look that up? This is what the hell you do on snow days. Okay.
What? And speak for yourself, Danny.
What'd you do on your snow day?
I worked all day.
Well, I don't work. Is that my wife texting me? Boss lady. Oh, it said look in the mailbox for an Amazon package. I was like, oh crap, she's watching. She's listening to me talk about this. There really is.
She's
no-
saying you're better than average, Danny.
Yeah, well, she goes, you're a trooper.
She,
She said it's the
She's been-
perfect size for her.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
yeah.
The big
Yeah.
ones hurt.
She bought him dummy tape measures and said, "Go measure it.
Yeah.
Let's just see what it is."
See, listen, listen, it's the best 8 seconds of her life. Okay, because I get off that thing every time, and I'm like a bull rider that I'm dancing in the bed, hat above my head. Yeah, Clint, you'll feel that way when you're 52.
I still feel that way now.
Huh? I mean, how old are you?
26.
So I'm like twice your age.
Yep.
I'm gonna give you the game book, all right, and things like that. I can impart some wisdom on you
Okay.
Yeah.
like
Sounds
that.
good.
So can Dave. So I'm gonna ask you, Dave, are you a Viagra or a Cialis guy?
Neither.
Huh? What do you take?
Nothing.
Just kidding.
Kiefer.
Kiefer, you don't take no damn Kiefer. That's a whole other thing. So anyway, I used to weigh. Oh no, okay. Since we're talking about this is just the way the show goes. I used to weigh 245, lost 75 pounds, and gained 2 inches down there.
Heck yeah.
I don't know that you gained it; you just got it back.
It was always there. You just could see it.
It
now.
was there, no doubt.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Out of sight. Hey, listen, another thing too. I thought we've done lost all control with this anything anyway, so we might as well get it out in this episode. I thought you were supposed to your sack was supposed to start hanging a little lower as you got older.
You still got a golf ball scrotum or what?
No, that's just when I'm cold.
Yeah.
But I really would like them bouncing against my knees.
You gotta live
seriously.
in a warmer climate for that.
You want to be like the kangaroo on Instagram and got stuck in the fence?
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Or the
You-
squirrel
this-
stuck in the bird feeder.
Yeah. That makes me shiver right now thinking about that. Now, I want to know how painful that really was. I don't want to experience it, but in a kangaroo's mind, what goes through your mind when you get hung on a fence by that?
I don't know.
You had a vasectomy?
No.
Okay, I have.
Good for you.
Yeah, but listen, that doctor comes in there and he's going to say, I'm like, I really want to know how they're going to. What are you laughing at, Alex?
I'm laughing at you guys.
First of all, let me tell you guys, this is a public service announcement.
They probably had the cutest nurses you ever saw. In there,
Good
didn't they?
God, I did. My wife was in the waiting room right outside. First of all, you got to shave down there, which I thoroughly enjoyed. That was pretty cool. Seeing the boys with a skit head. That was nice. Then when you lay down in there, they give you a betadine bath. That's where the cute nurse comes in. Do you know what was going through my mind while I'm getting a betadine
Don't
bath?
stand up.
Don't stand up, boy. Stay down like that. And then the doctor wheels you in and he puts this ping pong table kind of thing across your belly. And he's over there. And of course, I'm making little jokes about his eyesight and stuff like that. Then that son of a gun pulls out a damn needle. You know where you get your shots? Right square in the nads, one in one and one in the other. And it did not hurt. It's pressure. It's just pressure. If you come up and flick me, I'm going to die. If you take a daggum, goiter sucking needle and just throw it in there, yeah. And then there's smoke coming up and he's done. And then I might as well tell this story. And then listen, I'm on a roll tonight.
Yep.
So he wanted the story. So then, after that heals, you have to go for see if you got any swimmers left. Okay. So you go into a facility. She was really nice, but she was about 400 pounds if she was an ounce. Big old black lady behind the thing. She hands me a cup. And you go in the room. And there's various things, and you do your business. So 10 seconds later, I come back out, right? I hand it to her. This is true story. Swear to God. I hand it to her, and she goes, "Is that it?" I was like, "That's the most emasculated I have ever felt in my life." She goes, "Is that it?" That was her thing. I'm, man, that's all I got today. All right. Anyway, on to Jody catfishing. Oh, I'm sorry you joined right now.
Yeah,
We're
dropping viewers like flies.
Yeah, who cares? Who cares? I'm about ready to go home anyway, like that. Maybe we had a bunch of women watching or kids watching, and the mamas heard that. So anyway, DBS Bass Guide. Clinton's winning the no forward facing derb on Lanier Saturday.
Yeah, I'm gonna win it if we have it.
Yeah, what's your fears?
I don't know. Not having it, I guess.
Not having the tournament?
Not having the tournament, yeah.
Like that.
Because I got like $10 in the account, we're just gonna put all the eggs in that basket.
You go for it.
Yeah.
Danny, what's the most popular brand boat in y'all's area? Ooh.
Phoenix, probably.
Phoenix? Skeeter or Phoenix?
Ranger.
I would
Those
say
be the top three. I would think.
It'd be Phoenix, Skeeter, and
the ghost of Jerry
I don't
Springer
know.
called. Yeah, sorry, Aaron Young.
Bass Tracker.
And Kevin Thornton wants to know, how can I keep a straight face? I'm going to get one of them scathing emails tonight for sure. I'm sure I will. What's that reel in front of Clint? That's my
That's the Jason Christie.
Christie's Spro reel. That is a 561, and that is the LG, so it's the 9-bearing version. And I haven't had a chance to fish it yet. I have thrown it at the Toys for Tots tournament. I went out on the dock and chunked it. So with that, like, I haven't eaten tonight, so maybe running everybody off is a good thing. So I'm getting ready to like close it. But one bait, one particular brand bait, because we talked about things in general. But what's your number one bait for the winter, company and all?
Shane's Baits A-Rig with 2.8 Kitex and on a lockdown head.
Gotcha. What about you?
It's a green pumpkin shaky head with a Max Scent General on it.
Okay, what about you?
I'm going with this twin tail grub right here. It's a craw, new combat craw from Tactical Fishing Company.
Yeah.
They just came out, like just hit the website a couple days ago, and in 5 colors, and they are fire. They're
fire.
Awesome. Yeah, they're fire.
They're
great.
Pontoon,
I don't have a discount code for that.
There you go. Pontoon good. I even gave a thumbs up. Come on, people, slap that thumb. Well, so a lot of people might have jumped off because of commercial. They might have had one of them commercial breaks.
Hope.
But Pontoon, I hope you come in at the right time. And if I offended you in any way, I'm sorry. It wasn't bad. I mean, I wasn't talking bad about. She catfishes up in Tennessee, and like really good.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So she's up there.
She probably comes down our way at Gunnersville. They have a lot of those big catfish tournaments. I see the rigs.
Pontoon Jody, do you fish Gunnersville and all that? So like that.
They catch some big ones.
Mine, if you could only give me one wintertime bait, I'd probably go with a Max Scent, the mag hitworm, or whichever the hell worm. But I like that. And I like it in the. There's what color is that? It's not straight green pumpkin. Well, it might be green pumpkin, but it's got a little throat in there. I'm a cat fisherman. I got tough skin. I know that. I appreciate that. I'm glad you showed up. I hadn't seen your name in a while, so thanks for joining us. All right, guys, with that, now that we scared off half of North Georgia, and nothing I said, though, was not true. So like that, we appreciate you guys joining us tonight. We're going to be back here Thursday with another show. Start keeping the eyes on the weather for those on Lanier. She said, no, I will this summer. My daughter lives in Huntsville.
Yeah.
So there you go. So if you're fishing no forward facing or fishing in general this weekend and you don't show up Thursday night for the show, go ahead and prepare for the weather. And next week, some of them things are showing. We're getting ready to get a repeat of some of that snow the following week and some cold air. So
if they canceled the tournament, come down to the expo.
Yeah, Jimbo's got his expo, and also that's at the Lanier Tech thing, right?
Yeah, it's incoming.
Off Ronald Reagan.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Down there incoming.
Exit 13.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down there and sign some autographs, and
I'll be down there. My kayak will be on display.
Your kayak will be on display.
Yeah, because it's awesome.
Because it's awesome. Will you have all your battle bait stuff on it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have it like that. So, and you're fishing the no forward facing. Yep. You won't be here Thursday night, and
I'm hoping to get a boat back.
Get your boat back. What's wrong with your boat?
It went into the guardian mode. It wasn't pumping oil. So,
warranty issue?
No, it's out of warranty.
What motor you got on the back of that?
Pro XS.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Why'd you say that's what I thought? Because he's ever say, Tony Collum, y'all be careful. Yeah, they did. They had an angler pass away on Hartwell from hypothermia after being rescued. Bring a change of clothes if you fall in. And the only reason I didn't comment on that is because, number one, it's a terrible situation. And trust me, every Tom, Dick, and Harry on YouTube has got a video out about it. It's just an unfortunate situation. But it was weather related right there. So it is cold.
Make sure you wear the right clothes too.
Layers are huge.
Jeff Nail's got some good stuff, some good information on the type of stuff you need to be wearing out there in case you do fall in.
That makes sense. And but so we, I thought about, and it was a female, and so I hate, that's just awful.
Yeah.
But I don't want to. I didn't want to talk about that. I don't want to gain clicks or views from somebody else's tragedy.
I will say that those new AFCO gloves,
Like
Drew was
breakwater gloves or something like that.
worth every penny.
I'm buying some.
They are 100% waterproof. I have not got, and that day mine went into guardian mode. It was 3 or 4 footers on the lake, and I had to idle. I ran at 1100 RPMs idling back, and I had my feet up on my grass. Barely kept my butt. I mean, the boat was full of water. It stayed full. I was eating every other one over the nose, and my hands were dry when I got back.
Were they warm?
Yes.
Okay.
They are warm.
If they do get cold, though, you know the solution now, right?
Yeah, put a hot hand in right here in your palm, and you can still fish.
Telling you, that bottle of pee works. So
Staying dry. Like I've been using just black mechanics work gloves, like rubber gloves this time of year, and like everybody's been making fun of me, but keeping your hands dry, especially throwing a bait caster this time of year, not holding on to a metal ball, like keeping them dry is huge. Like I just wore like this weekend fishing in the freezing cold. That's all I wore on my hands, and they're so low profile. It's like you're not wearing gloves most of the time.
And the other thing is too, if it is raining, and you don't have the waterproof gloves, you can go to Home Depot or wherever and buy a latex glove. Put those on. Put your other gloves over the top.
Yeah,
it'll help keep if your hands stay dry. A lot of times they'll stay warmer a little bit longer.
Yeah, makes sense. Good tip. So, but appreciate you, Tony, bringing that up. But yeah, like I said, terrible situation, and just the sport we love comes with risks and all that. So you guys just try to eliminate as many of those possibilities as possible and be careful. So we're going to be back Thursday night with another live well. We appreciate you guys joining us. And again, follow Fish North Georgia on all our social media. And now that it's almost over, if you want to, I think it'll go straight. The first of season 2 of the Real American Road Trip was actually airing tonight, 7:30. I mean, 10. Good grief, 9:30 to 10. So at least I didn't have to watch it. I don't like watching myself, but that's something. But you can go back and live stream it, and we'll see you guys again Thursday night. So y'all be safe. Appreciate all y'all, and we'll see you at Jim.